Hello 7th and 8th grade bass players. This is Skill Builder 10 and this week we're going to continue looking at a day at Disneyland. So last week we made it from measure 1 to the end of measure 37. This week we're going to pick up where we left off at measure 38 and we're going to get all the way to the end of measure 58. We're looking at a melody called The Great Outdoors. I'm going to guess that most of you probably have never heard this before. Actually, I had never heard it before working on this piece, and I don't think any high schoolers had either. So if you'd like to listen to the original, you can go on YouTube and type in The Great Outdoors Disneyland, and that will get you the correct video. But remember, I also have been uploading the small snippets of each tune from this piece, and so you can find just The Great Outdoors. There's a video of everybody's part, and then there's a video of just the bass part that you can listen to as well. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching your Skill Builder. I'm here in my kitchen because we are going to play a game this week called What's in Miss Allen's Fridge? You all have until the next day 1, that means by 11:59 p.m. on day 6, to send me an email with a guess of 5 things that are in my refrigerator. Whoever guesses the most things correct will win a prize. So make sure you email me your guesses before the next day 1, and let's get back to the Skill Builder. Before we start playing, let's take a look at the 2 things that I said last time we should always look at before we start a new section: the key signature and the time signature. Because in this particular piece, they change all the time, and normally they change at or around the start of a new section. And so if I look at our time signature, it actually changed in measure 36. Measure 36, we talked about this in the last video, it went to 4/4. So we don't have to worry about that 6/8 stuff anymore, at least for this section. And 4/4 should be super simple for us. It's a time signature we're very comfortable playing in. And then if you look at your key signature at 38, it's going to look a little bit strange. There is one natural sign that actually is canceling out the sharp that you had previously in the key signature. So if we were just starting with the key signature at 38, there actually would be nothing there. And you can see that as you look down the next couple of lines on the left-hand side. There's nothing there because there are no sharps and no flats. This is called the key of C major, and it means that all of your notes are natural. Now, as a string player, this should kind of make you think about something right off the bat, which are the 2 notes F and C, because we are so used to playing those notes as sharp that in this key signature, in C major, where everything is natural, we're going to have to revert our brain to thinking about F's and C's as natural notes. And so as we go through this, all those F's and C's, unless they have an accidental, which does happen, are going to be natural. That actually means, in this case, for this bass part, you use your second finger a lot. So get ready to play a lot of second fingers on basically every string here. So let's start at measure 38, and we're going to talk through your notes and how to play them. So this is a very, very prominent bass part. In fact, there's 2 measures of just bass, and then several measures of just bass and cello. And so this is a pretty difficult, challenging part, especially for a middle schooler, and so I want you to do your best. We're going to talk through the notes, and then you'll be able to practice this on your own. So I have C natural, 2 fingers on the A string, and then a G, 2 fingers on the E string. And you can see I go back and forth between those quite a bit. So I have C, G, C, G, C, G, and then some eighth notes, C, G, A, B. More C's and G's, C and G. Now at measure 41, this is an F, but remember that key signature, it's an F natural. On the E string, 1 finger is F sharp, so you have to make it a low 1 to make it an F natural. 2 F naturals, then C natural, 2 fingers on A, C, G, C, C. Measure 43, I have open D. Now here's an F sharp because it's marked as a sharp. It's an accidental, so 4 fingers. Then open G. In measure 44, there's a natural sign in front of that first F. You can see it's in parentheses. That's what's called a courtesy accidental. It means they didn't have to write that because the rule in music is after the measure ends, so that measure that had the F sharp accidental, it goes back to following the key signature. So that's a courtesy accidental. They're just putting that there to remind you at 44 that it's F natural. So F, C, F, F. I told you lots of second fingers in here. Measure 45. C, E, G, A. I just said the wrong note. C, B, A, G. Now at 46, you have more F naturals. Those are low ones. And we're going to stay back here. This is called half position, and stretch our fourth finger to play those G's so that we're ready to play the next F natural. So G, G, F. Now I'd go back to first, 2 fingers on that G. C, C, D, E. F, C, F, F, C, G, C, C, D, E, F, C. Now this is interesting. You have 2 Fs, an E, and then an E flat, low 1. And then D, D, G, G. So those are all of the notes in that section. Let me go through from 38 and play those with you. Now, you may have noticed I don't have a bow in my hand. This whole section is pizzicato, and so I've put my bow down here in the quiver that I have on my instrument. There's plenty of time to pick up your bow between when the pizzicato starts and when the pizzicato ends and the arco or bowing starts. And so I'm okay if you want to put the bow in the quiver and do this. It gives you a little bit more freedom in your hand because this is such a complex part. Okay, so here we go from 38. 1, 2, ready, and here we go. C, G, C, G, C, G, C, G, A, B, C, G, C. Back for that F natural. C, G, C, G, C, C. Here's F sharp, open G. 2 fingers, F natural. Now we're going back to half position. 1. Stretch for that 4 G. 1 again. Back to first. Oops, sorry. 48. F, C, F, F, C, G, C, C, D, E, F, C, F, F, E, D, E flat, D, D, G, G. All right, and like I said, that's a pretty tricky part, so if you need to pause and practice this, it could take you a week, 2 weeks, a month to get this down, and that's okay. This is like the bass time to shine, so spend some time working on this. Then you have 3 measures of rest, and then 3 additional beats of rest. So it's almost 4 whole measures of rest to pick up your bow. And you come in on beat 4 of measure 55 with an open G that is tied to a half note G, so it ends up being a 3-beat note. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, rest. Then, this is the part starting to pick up to 57. It's C, 2 fingers on G, A. Sorry, I was thinking of cellos for a minute. 2 fingers on A. So it's C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. Now this is up to 3rd position. You're not really used to playing your first finger in 3rd position. Normally you put your 2nd finger down for C sharp when we do that D major scale. Your first finger plays C natural. So it's 1 for C natural, 2 for C sharp, 4 for high D. Okay? So that shift up there, you go to 3rd, and you put your first finger where you would normally put it, but we're used to not playing that finger, right? So instead of going right to 2, it's 1, 2, 4. Starting from that pickup to 57, again, it sounds like this. Okay, sort of like a scale, but it's really a D major. There's the C at the beginning, so the first C, the pickup to 57. And then starting at 57, it's like a D major scale, but they've snuck a C natural in there, okay? Let me play that one more time, but I'm going to start at the pickup to 56 so you can hear that all together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. All right. So that's your whole section for the great outdoors. Take some time to work through this. Go slowly. Don't get discouraged if you don't get it the first time. It took me a few times to be able to play this too, so don't feel bad if it takes you a little bit. And so thanks for watching the Skill Builder. And next day 1, so you have all of this week, next day 1 we'll start working on it together in class, all right? Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in class.